From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
This evening, more local frontline healthcare workers are getting Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine.
Just after 5 p.m., Ascension St. Vincent Hospital started vaccinating several of their employees. WRTV's Cornelius Hawker has that story for us tonight at 7 o'clock.
Tonight here at Ascension St. Vincent, they vaccinated their first frontline workers. The 6 people came into the room one by one to get vaccinated. They were RNs, respiratory therapists, an environmental service worker, a clinical pharmacy specialist, and the infectious disease doc that's been overseeing all of this, Dr. Belcher. He was the first to get his vaccine.
All right. Thanks.
Rebecca David Heiser was the third person to get vaccinated, and her story is pretty special because she was the nurse who took care of the first COVID-19 patient here at Ascension St. Vincent.
We didn't know how contagious it was. We didn't know how it was going to affect your body. We didn't know if we were putting, other patients at risk, if we were putting our families, our coworkers, our friends at risk. There were just so many unknowns about it. Wanting to protect and promote people's health is at the core of what we do. And so for me, that means getting vaccinated because we do all of what we do for you guys, our friends, our family, our community, and especially our patients.
After these vaccinations tonight, Ascension St. Vincent plans to start vaccinating more people. 792 are scheduled for tomorrow. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
As the vaccine begins to roll out to healthcare workers this week, we wanted to answer some of the most pressing questions you might have about it. Experts say people with comorbidities or pre-existing conditions should be at the highest priority for receiving the vaccine. You might have some side effects like any other vaccine, but doctors say it won't be more than fever, fatigue, or headache like a flu vaccine would. And those will resolve within a day or two. Both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, should Moderna get approved, you'll need to get 2 doses for it to be effective. Otherwise, you won't be considered protected from the virus. Pfizer requires a 3-week period in between doses. Moderna requires 4.
Should I prefer one manufacturer's vaccine over the other? I think I can tell you that they all went through the same vetting process, right? So in terms of safety, I don't see that I would be surprised, and it would have to be data driven that we don't have yet to say that one is preferable over the other.
Experts expect doctors will alert patients once they have the vaccine to schedule their appointment. Which vaccine people receive, however, will likely come down to access. It's also unclear how long the vaccine might protect you. At this time, the vaccine is not approved for people younger than 16 years old. They've only been monitoring the clinical trial for a few months, so it's still unclear about any long-term effects. To reach herd immunity, experts say we only need about 60 to 70% of people to be vaccinated to stop the spread of coronavirus.
As we get ready for the public to be vaccinated, a major push is underway to make sure it is being distributed equally, and those who need it most have access to it. Several organizations teamed up with the ACLU of Indiana to send a letter to Governor Holcomb asking for transparency and equity when it comes to the vaccine. We've reported in the past on how certain communities have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. According to the ACLU, the infection rate in prisons is 83% higher than the state's infection rate as a whole. Those in congregate care facilities and minority population also disproportionately impacted. The Indianapolis Urban League was one of the organizations who signed on to the letter. He says saying groups like his are ready and willing to help educate at-risk communities and help distribute the vaccine if needed.
He hosted COVID testing here as a part of our drive-through weekly food distributions. We've also done flu shots here. And so we're willing to play our part as a community partner to make it available.
Right now, under Governor Holcomb's plan, Phase 1A of the distribution plan includes healthcare workers. Next up, under 1B, is vulnerable populations. However, the specifics have yet to be released. The ACLU and community organizations are hoping to learn more about that soon. Here are the very latest numbers tonight from the State Health Department. Another 6,458 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with COVID-19. 79 more Hoosiers have died with the virus, bringing the total number of deaths to 6,860. Since March, more than 447,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus, and more than 5 million tests have been administered in Indiana.
The pandemic has brought constant change for schools as schedules go from normal to hybrid to virtual and back again. It's a challenge for students and it's a challenge for teachers. Joe Anderson is a teacher at Mount Vernon High School, and he is also a technology integration specialist for the school district. Once education returns to normal, Anderson tells us he will still make use of tools like Google Meet and online study games.
We've had a lot of conversations as a school and departments about how once COVID goes away, what tools do we make sure that we don't want to lose? Like, we've done all this work, and there's things that I never did last year that I'm definitely going to continue next year because they just work better. And it was something that I never maybe thought of to do if it wasn't for the COVID times and hybrids and virtuals and stuff like that.
Anderson says if you know of a teacher who is struggling with virtual learning, there are a number of resources to help, and many of them are free.
Kevin Gregory joins us now with a look at our forecast. And Kevin, it was just gloomy and cold. Oof.
But sunshine and cold temperatures greet you in the morning, all right? We win some, we lose some. No accumulation. The flurries are still flying, especially over the eastern half of the state. Nothing too heavy, but it does lower visibility just a bit. We're headed into the 20s tomorrow morning, the coldest temperatures until probably Christmas Day. Show you the radar around the metro area. These light flurries continue and is given kind of a hazy view there, kind of a gauze-like view of the downtown area from Speedway. There's the blue of the snow. Notice in the northern and eastern half of the state. Temperatures, they're around 30 and they haven't changed all day long. There are the cold temperatures tomorrow morning, lower 20s. We'll go up and then back down next week. I've got that for you coming up.
Working toward representation, a new program is tapping into statewide talent to get involved in politics. Why one party is making a push for diversity. Indiana's GOP is looking for ways to make sure the Republican Party and Indiana's elected leaders are truly representative of the people they serve. The party announced over the summer a program to boost diversity and elevate minority leaders. WRTV's Cameron Riddle introduces us to two women who are participating and what the program hopes to achieve.
Indiana's Republican leaders want Hoosiers to know their party is open to everyone. That's why Diversity and Engagement Director Whitley Yates is welcoming the inaugural class of the Indiana Republican Diversity Leadership Series.
A lot of times in society, we are shamed for identifying with the Republican Party and conservative views. For some reason, it seems as though based upon the color of our skin, that our allegiance belongs in a different place.
The goal of the Diversity Leadership Series is simple: increase the engagement of Black and brown Hoosiers in Indiana's GOP, a party that Yates says is a welcoming place for people of color.
We should be at all tables and be palatable decision makers on all sides of the coin, right? There should be balance in everything.
More than a dozen Hoosiers are getting involved, some of them familiar faces and names from multiple sectors. Among them is an Air Force veteran and entrepreneur, Tiffany Ditfelson, and cybersecurity company owner, Tasha Phelps. They say it's time for people of color to play a bigger role in the party that controls much of the state's politics.
I want to be able to recommend people for this program and build a network and coalition of minority Republicans who are able, ready, and prepared to run for office.
For Ditfelson, Republican politics caught her attention more than 20 years ago. Now she's worked her way into helping with the 2020 campaigns. But it's a different story for Phelps, who 10 years ago didn't identify with any party. The 6-month program will give both women a seat in the class of Politics 101 with lessons in communication, messaging, engagement, and policy.
This series is going to, for me, afford an opportunity to better understand how to do that, better understand what our lawmakers are doing and how they do it.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
To learn more about participation programs from both political parties, you can check out this story on the WRTV app. That's also where you can find a response to the GOP's efforts from the Indiana Democratic Party.
A dispute is brewing over President Trump's expected plan to live at Pediatric Surgeons Mar-a-Lago Club in Florida after leaving the White House. A lawyer for a family that owns property next to the resort sent a letter to the town of Palm Beach. It argues Trump has no right to live there because of an agreement he signed in 1993 when he was converting the private residence into a club. The letter says under the deal, no one may reside there. According to the agreement, club members, including Trump, are not allowed to spend more than 7 days in a row at the resort for no more than 3 weeks total a year. The state attorney for Palm Beach County gave his opinion on the situation today.
Now, keep in mind, this is not everyone on Palm Beach. Trump does have his supporters there, and this is a group of people who probably have had a long-running dispute with Trump. They don't want the commotion, they don't want the attention, they don't want the drama of having an ex-president return, and the law, I think, is probably on their side.
A Trump Organization spokesperson says there is no document or agreement in place that prohibits President Trump from using Mar-a-Lago as his residence.
They can't do a live show, so some young performers who have graced the stage at the Palladium in Carmel are bringing it right to your home. Coming up, we'll get a visit from a music legend to review a special holiday performance happening this weekend. Kevin.
I've got the ups and downs mark of our temperature forecast through Christmas Day. The story coming up.
You may have seen some of their first public performances as part of the Songbook Academy competitions in Carmel. Now they hope to bring some holiday cheer to your homes. The creator of the Songbook Academy, singer and music historian Michael Feinstein, sat down with us as he is the host of this live streaming holiday show that's happening this Saturday.
It's called 12 Songs of the Season, a virtual holiday special, and we asked all of the participants from the previous songbook events, our songbook academies, to join us to sing a song. We have 12 participants and a number of songbook award ambassadors through past years who are all going to do their favorite holiday songs in different settings and all kinds of amazing, innovative and interesting accompaniments and different treatments. So we have Sadie Fridley, who's our most recent songbook ambassador, and Julia Goodwin and Nick Ziobro and Annie Yoakum, and our first ambassador, Julia Bonet. And I give a lot of background information about the songs, and I sing a little bit too, and we show memorabilia. I show off some of the memorabilia relating to holiday time from the interstitials in between. We have a snow globe that Irving Berlin gave to Rosemary Clooney when they filmed White Christmas, and I talk about that. So it's just a presentation of great songs with amazing youthful talent from our Songbook Foundation ambassadors, and sharing of the memorabilia just to celebrate the season in grand style. It's fun to be able to share a story or an anecdote that was shared with me personally by one of the creators of the songs, and to pass it on. And knowing a little bit about the background of a song makes people hear it differently. And that's what I like about it, because having a little bit of the story, then you listen in a different way and it makes it more personal. I think that there has been a sort of attrition in the sense that always the best songs survive. And I think that the songs that are not as much about sleigh bells and Santa Claus and mistletoe, but are about the genuine emotions of this season, are the ones that are best loved, like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, or the Christmas song, or White Christmas, that have the genuine emotion connected to them. Because it's fun to sing about Santa and sleigh bells, but how deeply can you invest your emotions in that? You know, it's fun and it's up. But to look at the depth of what this season offers and the genuine meaning of Christmas for people of a particular faith, and also what it's come to mean for the world in unity, I think is what we all strive to share at this time.
Many thanks to Michael Feinstein for joining us. 12 Songs of the Season is streaming free this Saturday night at 8 o'clock. You can register to watch the show at thesongbook.org/holiday.
And let's stay in the season, Amanda. Some holiday lights. We've been showing those off as we've gone through the last couple of weeks. And Rock Neville sharing this picture. The trees all lit up. And, of course, the leafless trees make that all the more beautiful on this cold Thursday evening. Holiday lights, you can find a couple million of those at the Christmas Nights of Lights. That's kind of a drone's eye view of part of the landscape out at the State Fairgrounds. Temperatures, They're in the 20s, lower 20s tomorrow morning. We've got to get the clouds to break up. That will let us drop another 8 to 10 degrees from where we're at now. Flurries in progress, but not expecting anything in the way of accumulation, and the wind will remain light out of the west. There's the fuzzy view from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That camera sits on the pagoda right at the start-finish line and then shooting across turn 2 to downtown Indy. Marion County, western portion of the county, a couple of flurries, a little more steady as you go east on I-70 or southeast, Interstate 74 through Shelbyville, Greensburg on your way to Cincinnati. There's the larger view, and you can see how western Indiana, not much happening. Eastern portions of the state, then we've got the very light snow or snow showers. 26 in Richmond, that's one of the cool spots. Our temperature only moved from 29 to 33 today. Tomorrow we'll move from the low 20s to 40. How will we do that? A little bit of sunshine goes a long way this time of year. Temperatures move to 33 at noon. We'll also have a south wind, which will help boost the temperature above average to 40 degrees. Temperatures to the north and east will fall just short of that, but we're all headed into the 40s next week. In some cases, we'll push 50 degrees. There's your stronger south wind during the day tomorrow. Still strong on Saturday with the chance for rain increasing by Saturday night. You see what I see? Monday, 47. Sunshine Tuesday, 48 Wednesday. Slight chance of rain, but then Wednesday night into Thursday, I think changing to some snow. 32 on Christmas Eve day. Colder on Christmas Day. We'll be right back after this.
Colts punter Rigoberto Sanchez is back with the team despite just having surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. What's not clear is when he will return to his punting duties in games. The team has said it's hopeful that Sanchez could return to the field this season. In the meantime, current and former cancer patients at Riley Children's Health are sending Rigoberto Sanchez some very special and inspiring messages.
Hey Sanchez, you got this. You can beat cancer just like I did.
Hey, I'm Adam Eisenhower, and I'm a 2-time leukemia survivor.
Hello, I'm Maddox, and I'm a cancer survivor.
You got this. You can do this. Go Colts!
I know you can get through this. And I made a sign for you with the help of my mom.
Hi, Rigoberto. My name is Riley Osmond. I beat cancer 5 times, so you can too.
I love everything about that. All the best to Rigoberto Sanchez. We hope you'll be on the field during game days soon. Well, tonight, a timely reminder as you buy those Christmas gifts for your young family members. Pediatricians are warning about the hazards of button batteries, which are found in remotes, key fobs, toys, and even some Christmas cards. They can be dangerous if swallowed.
It can very easily become stuck in the esophagus. And even though the button battery might not be working for whatever toy or remote control it was in before, it usually still has some charge left. And so when that charge is in the esophagus, it can injure it, it can start eroding through the tissue, and that is what can usually cause significant damage and make that ingestion so fatal and deadly.
Each year, U.S. poison control centers get more than 3,500 reports of button battery ingestions. Stopping it from happening is simple. Keep button batteries out of sight and out of reach for small children. Check the screws on toys and devices that children have access to, and keep loose batteries locked away. For any questions, parents can call the National Battery Ingestion Hotline or contact Poison Control.
The weather is getting colder and coronavirus infections are on the rise for those in the restaurant business. Outdoor dining was a workaround, but frigid temperatures make that harder to manage. A family-owned restaurant in Michigan called the Sandbar and Grill has found a creative solution. They have set up what they call a shantyland in their parking lot. Customers can bring their own portable sheds to the lot, or for a small fee, they can rent one of 3 of the restaurants that the restaurant has available. They say the people they serve have become like family, growing even closer through this difficult year.
All of our regulars are so supportive. That's who we would normally have in our building right now. That's who we're kind of trying to get back here, the people that keep us afloat in the winter.
Owners say if all goes well, they plan to bring Shantyland back next year.
Temperatures, they'll be in the low 20s, guys, first thing in the morning, up and away from there to 40 degrees.
All right. Thanks for joining us here at the News at 7.
We'll see you at 11.